A blockbuster film, written, cast, shot, and edited without a single human on set. Sounds impossible? Not anymore. Google's Veo 3 is being called Hollywood in a prompt, a tool that promises near cinematic realism from just a few lines of text. Faces that emote, voices that resonate, shots that look like they were made by $1 million studio crew. But beyond the buzz, there's a deeper question. Is this the beginning of a creative revolution or a well packaged illusion that still can't replace the soul of storytelling? On this episode of Point Break, we're diving headfirst into the shifting landscape of visual content, where AI is both the brush and the battleground. With me today, two distinct voices from the front lines of this disruption. Biren Ghose, the Vice Chairman of the CII National Media and Entertainment Committee and a Global Executive Committee member of the Technicolor Group, and Aditya Raj Somani, the co-founder of Vidrow, a creative tech agency producing ad films and branded content for digital-first platforms. From short-form ads to full-length features, from celebrity culture to synthetic actors, this conversation goes beyond the wow of technology to the why and what's next. So is Veo 3 the future of filmmaking or just another phase in our obsession with automation? Let's break it down. Uh, Veo 3 is in fact being called as Hollywood in a prompt. Now, is this the future of content creation or is this just another AI sugar rush because of a new product just coming out?
Hollywood has always been driven by disruptions in the sense that, one star replaces another, one camera replaces another, one kind of new tool replaces another. Technicolor has been for 110 years disrupting itself by going from taking people from black and white to color, and you get the drift of where I'm going with that conversation. But the future of storytelling, both for the last 100 years and for the next many years, is not going to be written by machines. It's going to be co-authored by the evolution of culture, by what people want in terms of stories, the kind of media, the kind of platforms, the kind of devices. Everything is a race to the world of pixels. And uh, I will not go and see the new MI movie outside of a IMAX 3D. Somebody else doesn't care, right? Somebody else will wait for it to see it on a phone. So I think it's all about, like, what are you aiming to do? Games today have become mobile first here, but people who are real hardcore AAA title players will only play it on a different device. So I think what we're looking at is, when we talk about the professional cinematic fidelity of content, what are the tools that are enabling that? Companies like us will spend double digit millions in a year to give our artists one particular tool. Let's say it's from the family from Autodesk, right? And so on and so forth. So I think what I would like to just start by saying is, even in the next X years, even with the advent of all the things that are coming out from the Adobe stable, from Pika Labs, from NVIDIA's Omniverse, from Google's ecosystem, it is all going to be not asking the question today, very obsessed, is this AI made, is it not AI made? But I think we're going to ultimately come down to, no matter if you're a creator for yourself online or whether you are a big studio in Hollywood or in India or any place, is what kind of story is it unlocking and how is it grabbing the attention of people? I think that's going to be the ultimate goal. We shouldn't confuse the tool for it, right? Uh, I mean, today we heat food on a microwave, before which was heated by reheating it on a stove. Before that, it was on something else. It's unimportant. It's really important for you to understand that people prefer something to be done efficiently, quickly, safely, and that's really the power of new machines. And I think tools fall in that category. And so my opening comment is that, when you talk of disruption, AI is not going to replace image making. It is helping to reframe the imagination and the ideas that make that stuff quicker, faster, better, more diverse, etc., is my kind of first point on that. As far as the question that you asked on the specific tool, because you wanted to talk about Google Veo, Google Veo itself will change 100 times in the next X years. I think the big advantage is Google and not Veo. The big advantage is that Google's ecosystem of coding, of script writing, of voice, of using the music language kind of model that they have to create that ability to synthesize something into an image, right? Is the big thing. It is Google's Veo will be disrupted by Google itself in the next 1 to 2 years.
Got it. Yeah, thank you, Biren. Aditya, what about you? You build tools for digital first creators, kind of help with a lot of customers. So, how much or how far do you think VO3 would really help with disrupting the whole thing? And do you think that the output of all these tools, especially VO3, is not going to really be a big game changer?
VO3, why? I mean, it suddenly is becoming, I mean, I think every new update is becoming a talk of the town. It's not that. But VO3 has come up with one really, really good aspect that, your actors or your characters now can emote. And they can emote in very native, languages. They can emote in very native accents and very naturally looking, expressions. A lot of people have been trying to create AI videos. I told you, I mean, for different reasons, to show scalability to, whoever is the stakeholder, or to, not lag behind in this race, because there has been a lot of FOMO going around. And, of course, it went till funny where, people just started creating random videos and saying that, this is AI generated. Where I see this all till now, where the technology has reached, I see its use really, really, really going into the content which is non-fiction, right? And there is a very strong reason behind it, because when we talk about proper fiction, whenever I'm talking about film, whenever I'm trying to consume, a content which is supposed to, create emotions, which is supposed to make sense, which is supposed to help me make sense of my life and the world. Um, a lot of it is storytelling, and what Biren said, that will be human, because making sense, the pursuit of making sense of life in itself is very human. But in terms of the visual, there is a performance which is always there in fiction. Uh, it's not just storytelling. There has to be an actor. There has to be, a performance artist, performing artist, who will bring your script or the emotions or the content in front of the audience. And that's where I think the technology is not there yet. Or even if it is, uh, it reaches, I see that celebrity culture or the celebrity phases, they are not going to go away very, very easily, because it's not just about their popularity, it's also about their personality that they've built on screen. um, I mean, right now we are using a lot of AI, and but most of this AI we are deploying is in advertisement. And since we are an advertising company,
Yes.
because it's a 3 second shot, it's a 4 second shot where a person has to say just one thing, and it can be prompted. And even in the production, when you go and shoot it, it's very prompt driven. You go and tell the artist, this is what I want, because I have 3 seconds of time frame where you will come, and I want these three expressions in the exact same pattern, which will be replicated. And since wherever the production was very prompt driven, wherever the shooting was very prompt driven, that's where we are seeing a lot of use of AI. But at the same time, we are creating micro drama, which is 2 second episodes of. A lot of players have come up in India, which are creating micro drama, which is like 100 episodes of series, and each episode ranging from 1 minute to 2 minute to 3 minute. That's basically a smaller web series. And there we have tried using AI, and it never fits. I mean, even just a simple voiceover gets caught. And we have tried every tool. and the users, the clients, everyone who is listening to it, they are able to understand very quickly that this is AI generated, right? And this is not fitting because all our actors are performing really, really differently, and then suddenly this AI is performing very differently, and it feels unnatural. So yeah, I think in non-fiction, in prompt-driven shoots, it's huge. I also feel that very soon there has to be something, I mean, more B2C. There are B2B models where an actor can train their face and their voice and their expressions, and then the AI can generate exactly the same thing. There are not enough B2C models right now which are used, open for consumers to use. But that's where I see the next thing might come up, where I just get my celeb to one studio, I record say 10 minutes or 20 minutes of their just randomly talking, randomly speaking, and then I'm able to generate thousands and crores of videos out of it. If that happens, if that happens seamlessly, that's where I would say, okay, maybe into fiction we can come up.
Got it. Sure, Aditya. So, Biren, coming back to you, in terms of, I mean, you work with a lot of top studios and creators, and if cinematic AI tools like, say, VO3, where you have almost realistic video generation happening, do you think the whole evolution of filmmaking is going to change? I mean, is it safe to call it an evolution or any form of extinction? What would be the right way to phrase it?
So let me tell you in the last 15 years where our learnings have come from, right? Every project that we create, and I think Aditya referred to the fact of his learnings from creating the short form content for advertisers. So at the mill, we are, until recently, our company is going through a whole reformatting and reorganization because of shareholding, nothing to do with our business. We're on top of the game when it comes to creativity and technology. At the mill, we create about 1,000 short form films for the biggest brands in the world. And so I will come back to that point specifically. We create a lot of art for games, Grand Theft Auto, Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed, FIFA every year for 15, 16 years now. And we've also created big blockbuster movies. Our last big hit is Mufasa on screen with 800 million. And after that, it is Snow White, etc. So while we produce all this, there's also this whole story about how Google Tech has produced the new Wizard of Oz for the Sphere in Las Vegas. We've done a projects for the Sphere in Las Vegas, which is massive, right? Let me tell you what we are discussing. Let me try to de-layer this a little bit. Let me go down. For people who are creators, right, animators and people like that, we are looking to shift from a manual frame by frame approach to a prompt based stylized motion control approach. This is what we are trying to do. I'm just trying to put it, for people that aren't doing this every day, so they understand this from this platform. And the people who are doing this manual frame by frame are still very relevant, except that they will be elevated to people who become performance directors, right? This prompt has not worked. Now I have to do it again. That prompt did not work. Ultimately, the human eye is going to look at what an audience will look at. A director basically is going to look at through his eyes at something that tomorrow a million people are going to look at. And it is opening up new genres, as was being said, and it's opening up visual languages. And what we're discussing about Veo today is the limitations of those languages. So I think we need people like Aditya and his company to keep innovating, because what he's doing is just creating more and more data of what works and what doesn't work. That, the replacement, or we always talk about, will this replace people? There are lots of people talking about replacement. I think I'll say it again, that these people who were doers are now going to become architects, right? Because effectively you're going to evolve these people into being more creative than more mechanical and more, doing the drudgery work. And if I was to look 3 years, 5 years down, and this happens always, AI will be the paint and the artist will be still the human hand that has to do it. Whether you do it with your voice prompt, whether you do it with a typing prompt, whether you do it any way you want to do it. But to me, these tools are the paint.
Got it. That's a very nice way of putting it, Bill. So just one last thing from Aditya. So like how Biren explained, a lot of things, it doesn't matter how it's made. But for production houses, maybe it's a little different approach. But you having worked with different, say, consumer clients or e-commerce clients, do you think they have any kind of instruction or a preempt that you're not allowed to use these tools, or I want it to be a certain way, we want a minimum AI usage is required? I mean, how is it at your end working with your customers?
No, I think it's exactly opposite of it. And our clients and everyone is really happy if we can, use some AI. We can
Yeah,
show that, okay, this whole thing is done by AI. And of course, I mean, the appreciation is that, okay, now you can scale it affordably,
yeah,
right? Um, at the same time, I think one thing which why all the production houses or even creative studios where this whole conflict is coming is these tools are not coming from the technology owners or the technology builders who have been working with
not.
studios. It's
Mhm.
not coming from Adobe. It's not coming from people who have been working with studios and who have these editors and animators and all the artists who are using their tool in mind. This is coming from Google, who is thinking directly from the user point of view, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
one very good thing with this is that now it has come into a natural language prompt engineering, which was, I mean, when we use Premiere Pro or DaVinci or any editing tool, that knowing the tool itself is a threshold and a entry barrier for anyone to become an editor or become a creator, right? This threshold is gone completely, and people who do not even have these software skills can now be creators and can create content. This is enabling a lot of in-house marketing teams and a lot of marketing agencies and a lot of content creators who are not technical people, who do not own a fancy camera, who do not know how 3-point lighting is done or 6-point lighting is done, or who do not know what the color tone or the pastel tone or anything has to do. But they can create an output just by natural language. What they feel, they can write it, and then it can be created. And that actually removes a lot of blockers for a normal creator or even in any agency who is not producing Mufasa or who is not producing a multi-million dollar projects. It enables them very quickly to create anything, anywhere, and very quickly, affordably. And I think that is what you know that is why everyone is still in the dilemma if it will replace jobs or not. I think it will create new jobs, but those won't be the same. It will break the continuum. So my editor is not gonna become the next performance artist. What Biren is going to say, it's going to be a different person with a very different vision of the whole thing, because it's not brick and mortar anymore. It's completely one prompt and your video is out there. Right? So that's why I
yeah.
think our clients and other, marketeers and advertisers, they are appreciating it because this also enables them. That reduces their dependency on creative people who are, not very well known for their, uh,
Correct.
their corporate ethics, their timelines, their budgets, and everything. And this gives a lot of control to everyone who does not want to get into this tedious job of production, editing, post production, right? And still want to create some good content. So that's why I think everyone is really appreciating it right now. Of course, whenever we are doing a TVC or a celebrity campaign, right? At that time, we are trying to figure out how to use AI, because we know wherever we do use it, the cost will come down, and the clients are appreciating that. But at the same time, what I told you, that no one is even thinking of replacing a celebrity yet. So
Mm.
that is yet to
Yeah,
see,
still
or
remain.
yeah, and yet to see an AI celebrity coming into picture. I'm really waiting that some people who are using AI really well create 3-4 personas over social media who becomes really popular, and then I can
Correct.
use them. Then I can use them as a celebrity, and that
Got
would
it.
be a really new thing to do.
Got it. Got it. Thanks, Aditya. I know we're out of time, but I know Biren wanted to say something in between. He was
Yeah.
smiling. So we can just probably end with that. Yes, Biren.
I just wanted to say that the future is so unknown that Aditya will find it difficult to agree with everything I'm saying and vice versa. That is where we are in this journey, right? And I think that's the fascinating part of it. And I just wanted to end with three things that I think we talked about on this particular, chat, which I really enjoyed and really enjoyed talking to Aditya and you. One, I don't agree that the tools are not good enough for B2C. I think the tools today are only B2C. So today, if you are an image creator at scale, there is no enterprise level stack. In fact, it is not there in most industries, not just this industry. AI has not delivered an enterprise level stack that can create large scale global delivery in almost any domain today. So, for example, when we create large imagery, yes, there is a lot of AI tools that can help in the generation of the ideas, script, alternatives, treatment, mid journey, go to, some companies most companies, and this is where I agree with Aditya, who have come out with very innovative stuff, like Epic, who can give you a lot of different environments, which you have to then build upon. They've not come from the traditional creators of audiovisual tools. They come from a new generation of tech, right? Even studios today, whether it's an Amazon or Netflix, that's not Sony and that's not Disney anymore, right? That's a whole new generation. That part I agree. But the enterprise stack is complex. So there'll be someone who can create 3D modeling fabulously. There'll be someone who can create rotoscopy through, automated thing. There's somebody who will create new ways of rendering, etc. But today, in the creation of an image that is high fidelity, there are almost 30 skill sets. So the generation of effects, the understanding of physics, what is the most difficult thing that people do? The most difficult thing to do is, to create water and to create fur and to create, smoke and to create all of that kind of stuff, right? When you do Ant-Man and create the so-called metaverse, it's complex. And I think what we are seeing is that even today, it is human imagination that creates things that are beyond the camera. The reason why we do movie after movie with Ridley Scott is because you have to go beyond the camera, inside the camera, behind the camera, no camera, right? And I think that is far away from where we are in this world, because this world can only give you the amount of data that you put into it. It cannot originate something that is not there. And I personally would like to end by saying that technology has never invented anything in my lifetime. Any invention that came from the power of the human idea. And the ideas invented, some technologies or technologies supported the ideas. So I would like to say that Google Veo and beyond is only where we are today in the power of human ideas. And therefore, I think AI and technology will play catch up to those ideas, because it can't tell us the ideas. We tell them the ideas, we do the story. And therefore, to that extent, I think that these are fabulous tools, but we are looking for the next set of ideas and not the next set of technologies.
What a perfect way to conclude this discussion, Biren.
So, what did we really learn today? Veo 3 isn't here to replace storytelling, it's here to reframe it. As Biren said, AI is the pain, but the artist is still human. And as Aditya pointed out, the democratization of creation doesn't mean the end of craft. It means new kinds of creators, new kinds of stories. The tools are getting smarter, the prompts are getting better, but the heart of a great story, that still beats with human emotion, performance, and imagination. Whether you're a studio veteran or a one-person creator team, the message is clear. AI won't kill creativity, but it will demand we evolve with it, and that evolution has only just begun. Well, that's all we have for this episode of Point Break. I'll be back with more such discussions. Until then, stay sharp, stay curious, and think AI, think AIM.